Captain Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
All right, as promised, we're going to continue with this Chud the Builder case. It seems like the courts is not letting him use the $200,000 that he raised from his GoFundMe to bail out, nor use it for his legal team. He in trouble. Now, when Chud the Builder got arrested, he said it was self-defense. And like I said on my last video, once they run them cameras back, they gonna find out what really happened. Chud the Builder said the guy Fox started swinging on him. He pulled this weapon out, then he shot. But when they ran those cameras back, they seen that it didn't turn to an altercation. And Chud pulled that weapon out and I guess pointed it. You know, quite naturally, you're gonna try to defend yourself, whether you get shot in the midst, but that's exactly what happened. So Chud seemed like he's in some serious trouble. Let's go over here and check this out and see what Trap Lord Ross got to say. Let's go.
Chud the Builder is making some moves. All right. He'd been arrested for attempted murder. His bond was set at $1.25 million, but now word is coming around he might have raised at least $200,000 in his GoFundMe, and apparently they're fighting him so that he is unable to use that money to fund his legal battle to beat these attempted murder charges. And there's some new information coming out that might suggest perhaps it wasn't a self-defense situation after all. So we're going to get into all of that in this video. But first off, all right, let's look at Chud's bail bond hearing, where his bond was set at $1.25 million, and he looked visibly broken once that news had hit him in the courtroom.
So we're gonna have a bail.
I'm gonna set just a bond right now. Do we have?
All right, we're gonna stop right here. Before we continue any further, I want everybody to subscribe to the channel Captain Rick Rock TV. Now, I seen this video a couple of days ago, and I noticed this bailiff right here. Look at the bailiff. Look how he's looking at Chud. When they go back and rewind this tape and look at him, he might lose his job. Y'all know how they play. Let's go over and check this out.
Our bail hearing, then I'll let you make all the arguments. We can go through all the factors in the statute and see if that gets amended up or down, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set initial bond at $1.25 million. $1.25 million.
Let it out.
That's a lot.
Based upon the fact of how many people were in the courtyard, we're here at the courthouse, and the seriousness of all these felonies, and his bond status. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So the 26th at 9 o'clock, the 21st at 9 o'clock for a bond hearing, and then the 26th at 9 for a preliminary hearing right here. Does that work for everybody's calendar? General, does that work for the state?
Yes.
All right.
Just for the court's information, and Mr. Finley, the state is going to request and file a source hearing when and if there's an attempt to make bond.
Okay. Is there any objection of us taking all those matters up at the bond hearing on the 21st?
No.
And Mr. Finley, do you have any objection to doing it that way?
So look, he's in a world of pain, all right? Everybody's reacting to this monster gargantuan bond that's been set of $1.25 million. And again, you can just see him reacting.
All right, we're going to stop there. This is what he wanted. He wanted to be famous. He wanted the attention. Even in court, he's still acting. He know he got to GoFundMe. At that time, he probably had 100,000 and some change up in the GoFundMe. So he already knew he was straight on that. Now coming to find out he got 200,000. If they could get that $200,000 GoFundMe to post bond, he's in the game, because he's going to continue to make more content. He's going to be bigger than ever. And, you know, he going to continue to go up. So they're going to try to get that money. So he in there acting still. I don't think that he's hurt anything. All this is an act. This is what he wants. Some people are sick in the head, and this is all he wants, man.
That
Based upon the fact that many people
for an extended period, you know, he's fucked. So basically people saying, oh no, so anyways, all right, just throw that soap home. Being a racist gets expensive as F, huh? Put him under the jail. If I were the judge, I would say all that stuff and just go sucks to suck. All right. 1.25 million is crazy. People get off easier doing worse. But anyway, we've got his arrest warrant. We got some more details about actually what he is now facing. It says Ethley reached for his gun in an argument before the fight outside the courthouse. So new details from the arrest warrant have apparently revealed that he might not be able to pull self-defense. Might not happen, okay?
No, we knew that. Everybody that had been in these situations knew that. And whatever town, what's that, Nashville, that's Tennessee? If they do a white person like that, you better stay out of Tennessee doing crime. They don't care what color you is out there. They ain't no color lines out there. You do crime out there, you going to jail. It don't matter who you are.
Apparently reached for his gun in an argument before the fight outside the courthouse. New details from the arrest warrant say that the man accused of opening fire reached for his gun before the altercation popped off. All right. So basically, they're saying that he reached for it. Dalton is charged with attempted criminal homicide, employing a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, according to the arrest warrant issued May 13. The warrant alleges that Etherly reached for his gun before the physical altercation. The shooting occurred around 1:15 p.m. Wednesday outside the Montgomery County Court Center. According to the arrest warrant obtained by Clarksville Now, Etherly and another man identified as Joshua Fox got into a verbal confrontation. Then at this point, Etherly turned his body in a bladed stance, reached for a firearm in his jacket pocket. Thereafter, a physical altercation ensued. Not sure if you can just pull a gun out like that on somebody.
You can't. Now, this is my thing. If he pulled that gun out, right, and he shot Fox, how did he shoot himself? Did he pull it out of his jacket? Was it an inside pocket in his jacket? When he pulled it out, he popped a few shots, put it back in, and shot himself hand on the trigger. I don't know how that happened. They need to show that video. We need to see that part. How did he shoot himself?
And especially if you do, they're saying Joshua Fox had PTSD. He might have seen him pull that gun and just blacked out and went crazy at him. Joshua Fox might have been defending himself, basically. Okay?
Yeah, he was defending himself. He was a veteran. He done seen this out there wherever he was at. They trained for that. You pull a gun, they train for self-defense. Yes, he blacked out.
Okay. Investigators say Etherly fired multiple shots, striking Fox several times. Fox was flown by life flight to the hospital, getting emergency surgery, and footage showed a ricocheting projectile hitting nearby walls with several bystanders in the area at the time, so people's lives were put in danger. Etherly himself was shot in the arm during the struggle and was taken to the hospital. The incident prompted a temporary shutdown of the courthouse. So Chud came in a blue jumpsuit reserved for high-risk inmates. The judge advised him of the charges, including attempted criminal homicide, which he said carries potentially 15 to 60 years.
Woo-wee. Man, he liable to get 15 years, but he going to be off the scene for 15 years, all for content. I don't think Chud is a racist. I really don't. There's no history of his past with him being a racist. We done seen a black woman come out, said she had relationships with him, allegedly. I don't know. I wasn't there. But she definitely jumped out on Chud in traffic and they had a conversation. She said, you remember me? He didn't deny it. So I think all this started when he got into it with the first black people, the females in traffic. And he pulled out that cross, and I guess it went to some racial content online, and he seen all the fame that came with it. Once he seen all the fame that came with it, he probably got monetized on social media like this, and realized, you know what, I might as well play this role. Let me grow my mustache out. Let me start wearing the overalls. Let me try to duplicate with some of the older races back in the day, how they used to dress and look, and let me make this money off of it. But I think the clout got to him once he started seeing them numbers, them views, and them checks. He started growing into that character, and that's what a lot of people on social media do. Charleston White, he one of them. He said he's a character, but he's smart enough not to put himself in a position where he gonna get shot. It's a whole lot of people that want to whoop on him, but he know how to make you laugh, and Chud wasn't doing that. Chud wasn't making people laugh. He was getting people violent and ready to do something. That's exactly what happened. He got himself twisted up.
We might not be seeing Chud again for decades, okay? They explain the firearm charge normally carries 2 to 4 years, but because of the enhancement status, it requires a mandatory 6-year sentence at 100% service if Etherly is convicted and has no prior qualifying convictions. The aggravated assault and reckless endangerment charges carry 3 to 15-year sentencing ranges, depending on the circumstances and offender status. Court-appointed attorney Jacob Fendley was representing Etherly. They noted he's already out on bond in 2 other cases, one in Montgomery County, one in Davidson County, and they're asking he be held without bond until they can review. So they set an initial bond for $1.25 million. Now, usually, I'm pretty sure you only have to put up like a percentage of the bond. I swear you don't actually have to put up that full amount of money. So we might be seeing him back outside very soon, because GiveSendGo, all right, not GoFundMe, but GiveSendGo, all right, he's raised $216,000.
Oh, so this is not a GoFundMe. GiveSendGo. Now, this is the 200. He only had a goal of $100,000. Right now, he got well over $200,000. This is crazy. This is why this type of stuff, racism, continue to goes on, because look, they supporting this over $200,000 on a, basically it's almost like a GoFundMe. This is ridiculous.
They're saying, help the Chud and his family. My dear friends and supporters and champions of free speech, my name is Dalton Etherly, and I'm reaching out with a heavy heart, fighting to protect my family and business. Just over 1 year ago, I started DLE contracting in Clarksville, Tennessee out of sheer necessity. I was fired from my previous contracting job after BLM activists targeted me over words I shared online, jokes and opinions they twisted to end my career. With no other way of supporting my family and precious 2-year-old son, I poured everything into this small business, working tirelessly to provide for my family and build a future. But now the dream is under attack, not for the quality of my work, but for what I say online. I've shared mild jokes, unfiltered thoughts, and yes, sometimes I've used the N-word in what I thought was edgy, harmless humor. I know it's controversial, but it's my right to speak freely. For that, hundreds of people in my city are slandering my business, spreading lies to tear down everything I worked for. The hate has escalated to a horrifying level. I've received death threats so vile, they shake me to my core. People threatening to R-word and murder me, and even targeting my innocent 2-year-old son with unspeakable cruelty. As a father, hearing these threats against my little boy breaks my heart and keeps me up at night.
Man, that boy capping. That boy capping. What the... Man, I see how he got $200,000. He playing on people's hearts, man. He got real good cap. To get $200,000, I need to start me a GiveSendGo. I need to start me one of them type of GoFundMes. I see if I can get me $200,000. What type? I'm gonna have to ask Chat GPT to write me a real sorrow letter so I can get me some money like this.
And in the midst of this nightmare, a spark of hope emerged. I went viral on Instagram, gaining over 23,000 followers who connect with my story, my resilience, and my refusal to be silenced. People are beginning to stand up for American ideals and values. This platform is a chance to turn things around. But right now I'm broke. The slander has crushed my business income. I'm struggling to keep food on the table, pay our bills, protect my family from this.
You ain't got to worry about putting food on the table. They going with your family do, but you gonna have a 3-course meal every day. You're gonna get a breakfast in the morning. You're going to get a sack lunch, which is an apple, some peanut butter and jelly, or a salami and bologna sandwich. And then for dinner, you're going to get some slop, and you're going to get that every single day. So you ain't got to worry about being hungry and starving.
Onslaught, I need your help to bridge this gap and rebuild. The donation will go towards covering basic living expenses to keep me and my family secure, exploring legal options to fight the slander and protect my family from these vicious threats, find new ways to create a sustainable income for me and my family. This isn't just about money, it's about standing up to a mob trying to destroy not just my family's future over words, but our rights to free speech as a whole. If you've ever felt silenced, attacked, or punished for your beliefs, you know this fight. My business, only a year old, was born from necessity after I was cancelled once before, and now I'm facing it again. With your support, I can rise above this hate, provide for my family, and prove cancel culture won't break us. Every dollar, every share, every prayer means the world to us. Thanks for standing with my family in this battle for freedom. Gratitude, Chud the Builder. He really got $216,000 with that. What's the top dono? $3,000. We were chained and beaten near death, enclosed in a concrete cell with only a dim incandescent bar for light. Only a one like a son of man appeared before us and shattered the walls of our confinement. We saw every wicked judge had become a defendant, and God spoke mighty judgment through the victims of their tyranny, as the judges were sentenced to drown in a river of thick, putrid blood. And they gave $3,000. What the fuck? Who is
$3,000? Man, I wish I had me some people like that on Compton Rick Rock TV. Y'all gonna make me switch up my content. I might be the next Chud. He get $3,000. $3,000, man. Oh, man, I see why they make all the money, man. They people support them, man.
that? Good luck getting re-elected. Robert J. Nash, thanks for the huge payout. Chud will get. It's 2026. White people are done having freaks like you weaponize laws against us and never applying them for us. People are sending him thousands of dollars. We need more men like Chud if we're to take back our country.
We need more men like Chud if we are to take back our country. This is how they really feel. And this is why we doing bad over here. This is why places like China and everybody else is rising up in the game and surpassing us, because over here we weren't about racism. They weren't about what the black man over here doing. That's the problem. Why they over there in China elevating, taking over the game, they over there with education, discipline, and we over here worrying about what the next people over here doing.
$1,500. People are sending big racks to Chud. Thousands to the racist Chud. What the hell? So, according to some reports, the district attorney is actually moving to block the use of these funds. Now, I'm not going to lie, as much as I think Chud is a racist and a reprehensible person for what he's done, I don't think you can do this, right? You've all got a right to a fair trial, and if you get a bunch of donations, even if you don't...
They could do what they want to do. They could do what they want to do. They want to take that money. They don't care about no Chud. Let me tell you something, man. They don't care about him. The racist people in the streets do. They do. Them people want that money. They see $200,000. We need to take that. They ain't giving him that money. I could bet my life they ain't giving Chud that $200,000.
Like it for political reasons. You can't say, oh, no, we can't have him using the money to bond himself out or to...
They doing it right now.
You know, pay his legal fees. They can't stop him doing that, surely. So even if Chud can use the money to find a bondsman to put up 10% of the 1.25 million, it's my understanding he needs collateral for the rest. So he might not have enough for all of it. But apparently, and I'm very, very disappointed to tell you guys this, apparently there's already a new Chud the Builder roaming the streets of Nashville, Tennessee, getting very offensive, okay? Ordinary Nashville...
Yeah, it's not going to stop with Chud. He didn't already started. He wants some fame. He didn't study Chud. He didn't say, you know what, Chud did it wrong. I'm going to do the same thing that Chud was doing, but I'm going to know how far to take it. I'm not going to put myself in a position to where I'm going to have to pop somebody. So let's see who this new Chud dude is.
Nashville citizens were seen copying Chud the Builder. This white guy accused these black security guards of, I don't condone this phrase, it's not very nice, but chimping out for not letting his dog near the restaurant patio. So just before we get into this, right, don't condone any hate speech, don't condone any racism, any use of the N-word by white people is definitely not allowed or not good, not a good look. I wouldn't do it, okay? So I'm just giving you a fair warning, a trigger warning, all right? And I'm only documenting these statements for journalistic purposes. Right, we're documenting history. We're not condoning.
All right, well, I don't want to see it. If you ain't, come on, Trap. You got to be with it. You got to go all the way with it. Come on, man. You got to get all the way with the business, man. You can't be scared to do this. I hope Chud the Builder get out. I hope he get out, run some more content. Everybody get paid off of it. Shit, I hear, man. I hear this all day, man. I hear it all day. I'm not surprised by none of this stuff, man. I know what time it is, and it's just sad that just how it's gonna be. But anyway, man, this is Trap More Ross. Y'all go over there and watch the rest on Trap More Ross. We gonna keep it updated, man. I'm waiting for Flacco to see what he got to say about all this. This is good content right here, man. When you can't get away with it how you thought you was gonna get away with it. But anyway, man, everybody subscribe to the channel Compton Rick Rock TV. Also hit the link in my description and subscribe to my new YouTube channel Compton Rick Rock Body Cam. I'm gonna load some new content up over there today on this good old Sunday, man. Leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. Can they take the boy GoFundMe, or do y'all think they gonna give it to him? What do y'all think about all this? I'll catch all of y'all on the next one.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Compton Rick Rock TV. Also, hit that notification bell and catch every video when I drop.